horrible husband posted that I pushed out a dark-skinned baby and called her a welfare princess. Now, he regrets everything he's done after the paternity test came out. I gave birth to my daughter and it should have been the happiest moment in my life, but she was born with very dark skin and looked like she could have two biological parents who were of African descent. I was very confused too, but I am sure that this baby is my husband's. But he didn't believe me. My husband Jim was furious and accused me of cheating and left right then and there. He made posts where he announced that I pushed out a dark-skinned baby and was going to divorce me. While he didn't say any of the racist words, he did make comments about our daughter being a welfare princess, and how I was going to be just another baby mama. His family and a lot of our friends all called to say how upset they were at me and called me really nasty names. My mother was by my side the entire time and I kept professing my innocence. Jim refused to pick me up from the hospital, so my parents were the ones who took me home. As we were nearing the house, I saw that he threw my stuff out on the lawn. He changed the locks, so I had to stay with my parents. When my sister called to ask for the baby supplies, Jim texted me pictures of the bare nursery room and said he got rid of everything. He even destroyed my art studio. I like to paint, and the art I made, and told me my work would be too awful to sell. I was distraught but tried to focus on my baby. Weeks went by and Jim refused to speak to me directly and has never once asked about our child. Eventually, he agreed to do paternity and the results came out that he was 100% the father. No one could believe the results and it was done again. Jim's the dad. Around that same time, one of Jim's cousins did the ancestry thing and there was around 30% of African ancestry in the family. This combined with the test Jim's paternal great-grandmother admitted to having an affair around the time Jim's grandfather was born and was because he could pass, she just assumed her husband was the father. Since then Jim has been reaching out and everyone has come to apologize, and while it did feel good to feel vindicated, the damage has been done. I can't unhear or unsee all the horrible things that were said and done. Not just to me but to my child as well. Things that I thought he'd never say and he did it so easily. Regardless of what our daughter looks like, I don't want her to be around that. What else will Jim and his family say or do the next time they get mad? How are they going to treat our daughter when she does something that upsets them? Jim has been begging for forgiveness. I said I needed time. He asked to see the baby and I let him, but I'm too afraid to physically hand her to him. He's repairing the nursery and keeps asking me what I would like, and I cry every time saying we already had what I liked and some of the items that we had can't be replaced. He asked me if I still loved him and I admitted that he showed me his worst self and I don't know if I could live with that image. I didn't mean to be hurtful, but it's how I feel. Update: I am legally separated from my husband with primary custody. He still keeps apologizing and wants me to come back to the house. He even offered to leave so I could stay with our daughter, but I don't want to. My dad is retired, so he does a lot of the babysitting while my mother and I work remotely. Jim also admitted that he was scared when I got pregnant. Our baby wasn't planned, was very anxious about being a father, but just pretended to be excited because he didn't want to look like an A. My husband was so willing to believe that our daughter wasn't his because he thought he had an out. Now that he knows that our child is his and has spent time with her, Jim regrets everything and just wants his family back and is willing to spend the rest of his life making it up to us. This was all deeply hurtful and I've cried about it more than once. Jim has been lying to me and my ability to trust him hasn't improved at all. When the holidays came around, Jim's parents asked about seeing their grandchild and I didn't want to. They told me that it was selfish of me to keep her away and I reminded them of their past. They said that they've already apologized and tried to minimize the situation. They said that I couldn't be angry forever and that I need to learn to forgive them. I'm so ashamed of ever loving and marrying into this family and wonder why I didn't see this before.